super steady on. Just to turn the camera on, I was walking a while trying to find a spot where I could, dip in. Just turn the camera on. And finally I just decided the best place to stand is in the street. Because although I could get hit by a car, it's the spot I'm least likely to be in someone's way. I'm always in someone's way, it's fine. I did a video this morning about the Neil Gaiman situation, and it's going well, but then I unfortunately had a couple incidences with the newer people that were moved here during and after COVID at the expense of generational islanders, locals who had lived here for decades and even longer, Samoans, people like that. They were forced off the island when the state held on to its COVID relief funds. Even though the federal government gave it to them, they just held on to it with a bunch of lame excuses and just bullshit. So they were forced out, which opened up a lot of space for them then to bring in their soldiers. And that's what they did. So, their soldiers are easy to spot because we simply did not have them here before in any numbers at all. They just weren't here. It was rare to see someone from that part of the world. Now, sometimes, some days, it's kind of all you see. But as much as I try to avoid interactions, sometimes they come from behind. And in both cases today, where I had negative interactions with them, it was because they were behind me and came up behind me. One with a little car threatening to, run me over or something. Just revving the engine. I'm not going to get into these stories, but it kind of hijacked the video to just go into talking about that kind of shit, which I don't like to, because the way things work in current world is unless you are part of a certain group, you can only talk about the groups you're a part of. As soon as you're someone that looks like me, which is pretty fucking cool, as soon as you talk about LGBT, well, actually I am LGBT. As soon as you talk about, a different race, right? No matter what you say, it immediately makes people think you are the bad man. No matter what you're saying about it. And most of the time, I'm just relaying information, or I'm telling stories or negative fucking situations I've had with them, which is kind of every day now, because I don't have eyes in the back of my fucking head. So while I see them coming, and I always do the little security thing, which is, it's kind of funny, but to me it's kind of funny, but it's also real, just I know to just steer clear. I can't do that when they're coming up from behind me. I just don't see them. And in both cases today, I didn't see them until they were there. And it just hijacked the whole fucking video, I think. But for me, even worse is that people watching it, YouTube especially, might decide it's a little too saucy. And, I have been banned many times here. I got 5 weeks off total. No, 6 weeks off, because one time one ban was 2 weeks because it had been too close to another one. That's not counting all the content warnings for comments and things. So I gotta be cool here, So I'll probably put that one on the second channel, because that one has no strikes or no, I've never had a problem on the second one, because I don't use it that much, right? So that's where I'm going to put it. And something else, this is a tip, right? If you make videos, from an experienced video maker like myself. Whenever YouTube offers or asks you if you'd like to do a survey, one of their surveys, always do it. Always do it. I've been told in the past that it helps your account to do this. One guy said it got him out of being shadow banned. You get good boy points somehow with YouTube for doing these things. So I always do them, right? And today the one I did, right, after I was done, I go back to my creators page and I notice I have 3 new subscribers, which is kind of rare for me. I don't get a lot of new subscribers, but when I do, it's 1 or 2 here, then I lose 1, 2 steps up, Bruce Springsteen. But in this case, I was like, what? In the time I was doing that, that's just unusual. I mean, it could be something, who the fuck knows why. I mean, maybe someone talked about me somewhere. I don't know where, but, I've had that happen before too. So it's like, but I can't help but thinking it was almost like a reward for doing the fucking thing. Another funny thing about this survey though, and this isn't going to be a whole video about fucking stupid YouTube stuff. When I was doing the survey, usually I just want to do the survey. I'm not really reading it or caring about what they're saying. Why does it look like I have the death fog? This camera's making it look like the death fog is in town. We do not have the death fog. Oh, fucking Blue's probably losing his shit. It's just, there's no, don't, one of you other guys can comment down. The thing about this particular survey is I was honest. Usually I just read through it and be like, very satisfied, very satisfied, very satisfied. I just to get it done, because I know it in some way it helps you. But this time I really read the questions and I was really honest about it. And a lot of the stuff I said, like criticisms. When they asked for criticisms or how to make things better, I gave it to them. I was like, you need more human beings and less AI responses. I mentioned the thing about how I've gotten those the comment warnings where they said I left inappropriate comments. When I asked them for a screenshot of the comments, they send me a blank screenshot. I'm pretty sure a human wouldn't do that unless they were taking a piss. But the thing is I didn't say anything against TOS. It's just that, I usually, it's anti-beast, the stuff usually that I talk about, the anti-beast stuff, and they don't like anything like that. So, compose yourself. So, that's what happens. And when I did put critical answers or was honest about it, when the survey was over, and I'd never seen this before, I got this little note saying, we noticed you were a little negative in some of your responses. You care to elaborate on any of this? And I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck is this, I've never seen that before. Well, because I don't usually take it seriously. I just blow through it. It was really weird. I forget how they worded it. I should just get a screenshot of it. But it was almost like a cop or something. Like it wasn't just like, hi, would you like to expand upon some of your, critical comments? But like when I had a chance to talk critically, they gave you plenty of room. They're like, please explain what you think of that. So when it was over and I got this thing, I'm like, what the fuck is that? So it's like, would you like to, we noticed you had some negative comments about your time here or whatever. It was really fucking weird. I X'd out of it because you're not looking to get the eye of Sauron on me anymore than it already is. And when I was done, I fucking clicked out of it and I had the 3 new subscribers. So it was almost like I was holding them in limbo, and they're like, all right, he's a good guy today. We'll give him these. That's why I tell people, like, don't look at your numbers. You don't know what is really going on. They don't mean anything. You know, so many times in the past, I've like pointed out stuff like having a video with like 3 likes and 4 comments after posting it for an hour and no views. It's like, well, that don't make no sense. That's not possible. So it's they try to manipulate your emotions in a way, like, you know, they control what they think you think your value is there, you know, depending on the numbers. They try to make you tie your value to the numbers because they put the numbers real front and center everywhere all the time. And they talk about the importance of it. So then they control those numbers and, you know, give them to you at their own whim. And they don't really have anything to do with reality, you know. Like, just observations I've made in the time I've been here. You know, I get like 8 likes on something and like 16 comments, like, or, you know, like the engagement is way more than the views. So you can't really... Oh, there's that graffiti I was trying to show the other day. Yeah, they kind of gave up on doing this for now. They'll be back. But I guess they thought, like, oh, we'll put it up there to be a ball duster, because then they might not clean it if it's up there. And now everyone knows this is our street. But, yeah, you can't let any of that influence what you do. If I did, I would be doing things a lot differently here. I'd be making fucking just Duran Duran videos and homeless videos. And now 7-0. I got a lot of attention for the 7-0 videos. Hundreds of views. When I'm used to getting, you know, 24 each one. But I don't want to make, you know, them all the time. I just did another one. But it only... I don't want to make it. But I just did another one. But I just did another one because it was significant. The subject or story or narrative or whatever moved along for me. And that's... You know, I do things when I feel like it. I feel bad for these people that are trying to make like a career on this platform or something. They must just live in a panic all the time. You know, like I'm watching something today that popped up on my feed. I'm always a sucker for this too. It's like there'll be like Avengers leaks. You know, mind-bending leaks, blah, 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 shocking news. It never is. It's the same shit all the time. It's always like, and we're pretty sure Tom Holland is going to be returning as Spider-Man, either in the next movie or the one after it. Is that, oh, you think so? Oh, okay, cool. But I fall for these things way too often. And I made a comment there. I'm like, these fucking things, they fool me every time. There's never any new information, but I know that. But I'm a fucking click monkey. And then I thought about the kid making them. And I'm like, this must not be good for your soul. To crank 3 of these out a day of just basically nothing. I mean, there's nothing there. And that's what happens when you try to make a career out of YouTube, when you rely on money and stuff. Like, it must be fucking... No wonder people end up Phil McKenty, you know? Just had something weird happen out here. So of course I gotta make note of it. I'm walking up the street, coming from down that way. And there's a group of people, a small group of people, and there's a black woman there, a big heavy set black woman with kind of wild hair. Is that racist? Yeah, probably. That's fine. And she, half her face was like a robot. It was like Terminator. Her left side on her face was like wires and like robotics. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, is this like, I don't know. A lot of things went through my mind. Like, is this like cosplay or something? Or is she part of something else? And plus she had like this big kind of wild hair, and that's why I thought that maybe it was something like that. Like, it was like sprayed up, you know, like big I don't know, fuck. But the it looked like it was done up, you know. So I'm looking. I'm have my sunglasses on so I can look, because otherwise, you know, I wouldn't be able to look. And I'm like, wow, what is that? And it's like shining in the sunlight, and I'm like, it's like she has half a Terminator bit, half a robot bit. And then when I was almost right next to her, it was gone. She just had a regular face. So I was seeing something, like a mirage, or I imagined it or something. But I could draw it. Drawing, I could draw what I saw. The eye was like a round kind of thing, like a satellite kind of dish, and there were protuberances that were connected by tubes that came down to like make the jaw. It was like a robot underneath the skin, kind of like the Terminator type of thing when he rips half his face off. What was that? Was I being shown something, or did I just hallucinate it? There could be anything. Could have hallucinated, but I that's what I saw. That's what I saw. You know, is it revealing something? Because I always call these people robots, you know. Not like just specifically black people, but everybody. You know, the current schizo numbers we're working with here, 95% highlights. You know, different cultures have different numbers in different things that they call what Dolores Cannon would refer to as background people. People that are just here in your field of vision to fill out your world. I would say that's kind of everything now, right? Because you're like this super progeny of God consciousness that is, like we always say, split up into different points of attention that express themselves as individuals, you know. So everything is kind of here for us to create the environment we're in, and you know, and our current situation here, it's been turned on its head to not create a place of learning and growing, but to create a fucking loose farm where they just suck our energy up, so that they then take that energy and create the fucking hell world where they are in control and have the power to be scumbags, you know. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I saw. I saw it, and I was trying to work that out in my head what it was. And right when I got onto her, it saw that it wasn't there at all. It reminds me of the demon story there that I told sometimes about the first time I saw what I consider to be supernatural. It was on the summer solstice. I owned a comic store and I was hanging out in the front. I just told this story, so I'm not going to go into it again. But basically, the thing I saw, when I got close to it, vanished and revealed itself to not be anything I was seeing at all, except in this case I was with someone else who saw the same thing, and we both looked at it, compared notes. It was something we were seeing. But when I got close to it, it just kind of vanished and became the couple upstairs having an argument in the car, instead of a crazy Beetlejuice woman who was seeing through my fucking body and looking at my soul. She was looking at me, not my body, but looking at the real me, the electromagnetic energy that animates the saboteur. She could see that, and she was looking right at it. It was a bit like that. In both cases, big wild hair. In both cases, because the one, the demon type of woman thing that I saw, and you don't see demons here. They're incorporeal in this realm. But if you were to look into their realm, where their pocket that they're sitting, you can see them physically. And if you catch them on film and video, they know they can be seen on video and film. They don't know how that happens, but they sense they can be seen. And the thing a demon doesn't want the most is to be seen. They thrive on you not being aware they're even there. If you're aware of them, they can't do shit, you know? But yeah, kind of weird, man. It was a fucking weird experience. Every bad thing I see here is, would make me the bad man to point it out. Back there, I was in Ross, and there was a gentleman just freaking out to run the store. He's like 7 feet tall, this dude. He's definitely, like, a lot of them are from the mainland. This one's probably definitely from the jungle. He just has that look, you know what I mean? And he's yelling to himself. Like, there's no one around, and I kind of peep the situation. And he's not far from the front door. Now, of course, no one's telling him to move or to stop it. They don't do that here. They just, they have a weird way of handling this stuff when it comes to specific groups of people. They just, I think their idea is let the fire burn itself out. Now, conversely, and I am going to say, I don't give a fuck, I couldn't get away with that. Security would be on me in 2 seconds. You know, I'd be fucking security and then the cops, and then I'd be dragged away. I'd have some big Islander guy put me in a chokehold. But yeah, that's, you know, different strokes for different folks, you know. So no one's doing anything. People just trying to stay away from him. And since he doesn't look like he's harming anyone currently, it's not my problem, you know. File it under not my problem. I've only stepped in when someone's being victimized. And even then, it's always like, fuck, am I going to get killed here? You know, because, I mean, I don't even mean like in an extreme way, like the guy's going to pull a piece on me. But if, you know, it comes out in a scuffle, like hit the ground again, get my fucking 15th head injury, 10 more already past the point where they tell you don't hit your head again. I don't know, you know, but I'm a white male, you know, compelled to get involved in these, because you know no one else is gonna. Nobody else gonna. No one else is gonna do anything about it. In fact, the last thing I had to do like that was right up here. Once again, I start talking about things and I walk right up to where the incident happened. It was this was like a Pacific Islander dude who was terrorizing this poor Asian woman on the corner here. I took care of that and got him away from her, and it turns out he was just drunk and he screamed about Pearl Harbor and what was done to his people during Pearl Harbor. I don't even think he cared about the Pearl Harbor. I think he was just drunk. But he's like, you know, this little Asian lady, and he's just screaming at her, like, you people did this and that. And everybody's walking by it. Of course, no one does anything. That time in Ross where that African-American gentleman was going to kill the old Jewish guy, that was a thing where I was almost about to fucking have to do something, but the manager, who's a nice guy, who I like, was like, no, everything's fine here. So they showed up at the point of the incident with that kind of energy, like that what the fuck is going on over here kind of energy. And he could sense it. So he's like, no, everything's okay. And yeah, the guy was just screaming. I think what happens is the guy bumped him or something in line. So he's screaming about white people, just screaming about it. And then as he calmed down, he's like, well, not all white people, just some white people. And I'm like, the guy's Jewish. He's not white. But, you know, they don't know. They just see skin color and they get mad, which I believe is called racism. Racism being a Trotsky term, one of his invented words. You'll notice that anytime there's a situation where the true sons of Abraham, people like myself, can be victimized, there are always words in place to use against someone if they try to protest being having a foot on their neck. All kinds of words for that, depending on who the person aggressing them is. You know, you got racism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, a different word for everything the evil white man's going to complain about. They have a word to keep him from being able to complain about it, you know. So that's all that is. It doesn't mean anything. you know. If anything, right, going by their definition, I've experienced that quite a bit. But, you know, I'm not a faggot about it, so there's that, you know, there's that side of it too. That's because I think a lot of that's because I'm Irish. Irish people just, it takes a lot to fucking get us mad, you know. But yeah, but when we do, you know, talk to the British about that. What am I doing? Why am I over here? Where was I going? Oh, I know what I'm doing. All right, yeah, I had to run errands. I was picking up a Google Play card. That's not your problem, though. And it doesn't seem like a very fucking interesting thing to talk about. Yeah, that racially charged video from earlier is a good way to get rid of the new subscribers. You know, because you gotta shave people off. You know, you can't have too many people. It's no good that way. You gotta make your appeal selected. Fuck, I remember telling Neil, like, dude, if I get 100 subscribers, I'm gonna stop. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, you know. Because she was nervous about me doing this 3 years ago. And I feel like it's just my calling to make fun of Satan and try to make God laugh. That's all it is. You know, yeah, it's under the guise of spiritual war correspondence and trying to explain that kind of stuff with the lens I have affixed to it. But ultimately, it's about pointing and laughing at Satan and trying to make God crack a smile. And that's it. And as long as that stays the fucking whatever you call it. I almost said manifesto. Hey lady, you know, it's fucking, I still gotta go. I got the white man. The white man. You know, when you see the little white man, it's safe. Which is, you know, true for pretty much everywhere. Until next time, though, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.